Hey y'all, welcome to Thursdays with Triple T. It's Thursday, y'all, so come on in and get comfy with me, Imani, aka Triple T. Hey, and so I'm excited about this teaching the text because really it's just me asking y'all to collaborate on a poem with me and giving more background on that. But before I go too far into detail, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, or I'm gonna bring y'all in with my intro. You ready? Call me Triple T because I'm teaching the text. No fear. I'm not the best at like both beatboxing or padding. Is that what it's called? I don't know. Padding, tapping, fake drumming. I'm not really great at that. And doing the song at the same time, as you can tell. Like, I feel like that takes a lot of, like, not even just rhythm, but, like, also, like, coordination of some sort. And maybe if I practice, I'm gonna practice throughout the next few weeks. Maybe we'll try it again, but I'm gonna start over. You ready? Call me Triple T because I'm teaching the text. No fear, daughter here, got the triple threat. With the Father, Son, and Spirit keeping me in check. I'm just answering the call. No collect. No collect. Something about, okay. So, welcome to another episode of Teaching the Text. If you're new here, essentially what this Teaching the Text series is on Tuesdays, I release a poem or another form of art on my Kasted Qrowns YouTube channel. And then here on Thursdays, I actually give some context and meaning. I give the heart behind the art on Thursdays with the poem in question. And so, what do you know? It's Thursday. How are y'all doing this Thursday? Actually, how are y'all doing? I don't actually know what y'all said, but listen, yeah, I hope y'all are thriving. I hope y'all are doing well, because I know right now, and like, for example, in Canada, there's like wildfires happening, and so like New York, the air is orange. You know, I just know that like up in the north right now it's kind of the air quality ain't great. You know, but yeah, I hope y'all are doing well. Tomorrow is Friday. And so, y'all one step closer to the weekend. It's about to be Friday. Yeah, so the poem that we're going to talk about today is called In My Wildest Dreams. And so, this one is a collaborative group poem that I would like to do. I would love for y'all to participate in this poem with me. And so on Tuesday, what I did was I read a part of the poem, like the first 2/3 of the poem. I didn't go into like what my wildest dreams are specifically, but I read about 2/3 of the poem, kind of to give y'all some background, and then I asked the question of y'all like finish this statement or finish this prompt. In my wildest dreams, I dream of a world where dot dot dot, and so I wanted to kind of have this collaborative group poem in honor of Juneteenth, which is happening the Monday after this one, or this upcoming one, on June 19th. And so, because, you know, here's the thing, because I was going to say on Juneteenth, but the reality is, like, June 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 15th, 14th, 13th, I think that was 8 fingers that I just held up. I don't know if I. So basically, it's like, okay, June 19th. I feel like, yeah, it's. But perhaps y'all already knew that. I'm sure y'all did. If y'all didn't know about Juneteenth, I'll give y'all a quick little background of it. Basically, I'm going to give y'all 4 dates in history. They won't be specific dates, but they'll be years and with some states. So in 1777, Vermont. All of this is happening in the United States, so it's a little bit of U.S. history. But in 1777, Vermont became the first state to abolish slavery, and you can do some more research on this. This is just like very broad facts. So Vermont becomes the first state to abolish slavery. And then in 1780, Philadelphia is not a state. It's really not a state though. Pennsylvania is the state. So Pennsylvania in 1780, Pennsylvania became the first state that actually like declared emancipation for enslaved black folks. But essentially, what Philadelphia / like Pennsylvania's emancipation situation did was it allowed emancipation, which is essentially like granting enslaved people like freedom, and to some extent justice, to some extent. But the 1780 in Philadelphia, what they did, it was basically a gradual abolition law. And so that means that they were phasing out slavery. It wasn't like, oh, all of the enslaved folks are free at one time. With gradual abolition cases, sometimes they would have it so that like kids were free, but parents might not be, or like people under or over a certain age were like they were declared free, but other folks weren't. So it was like, we're not going to release everybody at the same time. We're going to do some people. And so, interesting. And so then on January 1st, 1863, Abraham Lincoln actually proclaimed the Emancipation Proclamation. However, with the Emancipation Proclamation, which theoretically was a federal declaration that was freeing enslaved black folks throughout the Confederacy, like back in those days, I guess they didn't, or I know back in those days they didn't have like telephones, they didn't have like TVs, media outlets and stuff like that. So like people actually had to go and tell them. So after that, what happened is that Union soldiers, if y'all don't know about the Confederacy and the Union, essentially the Confederates were like pro-slavery. The Union folks were like, we should theoretically abolish slavery. It's a little bit more complicated than that. I ain't gonna go into all that. But essentially those were the two stands. Like one were like abolition / like we don't support slavery. But then the other one, the Confederacy, was like, oh yeah, we support slavery wholeheartedly, and actually we're gonna fight so that we're gonna can keep our enslaved people, which honestly is like the basis of the Civil War, like the bare minimum basis of the Civil War. Other folks might say other things. So, anyways, Abraham Lincoln signs the Emancipation Proclamation January 1st, 1863. And then what happens is that Union soldiers, they're going throughout the Confederate South specifically, and they're proclaiming these news. And so Texas, in Galveston, Texas, that's when the last, I think it was about 2,000 soldiers, they went into Galveston, Texas, and they told them, y'all are free. And I believe Texas was the last state to basically hear about the Emancipation Proclamation. That's when essentially it's like, oh, emancipation / like enslaved black folks are free for real, you know? And so, yeah, Juneteenth has been celebrated and honored for a while. In 1980, Texas became the first state to like legally recognize Juneteenth, and then other states have followed, particularly in the more recent years / like the last couple of years. More states are not just recognizing Juneteenth, but actually recognizing it as a like a legal state holiday. In practice, what that means is that like when a state recognizes Juneteenth as a state holiday, that means that their state workers get paid for a day off. And so of course schools won't be in session, businesses will follow suit. They'll take the day off, and so it's kind of like more publicly recognized, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, that was just a brief little history about Juneteenth. The reason that I wanted to do this as a collaborative group poem is again because of, I think specifically of the thing of freedom. And the reality is, I think to some extent we can always be more free, especially in this world. Like, there's more freedom to grasp, especially as like Black folks. When I think of wildest dreams, right? Langston Hughes, he was a Black poet, if you didn't know. I'm sure you did. But he wrote a poem called A Dream Deferred. And essentially it asks the questions of like, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it rust? Is it crumpled up? Etc., etc. So with that poem, I think when I think of wildest dreams, I think of kind of like, what are these deferred dreams that we might have? Or what are these, they don't even have to be like out of reach necessarily. They can just be like, oh, I would love to be this one day, but for whatever reason I feel like I can't. I would love to see Black kiddos attain this or have this one day in the future. I would love to see my children have this. I would love to travel somewhere. I would love for the state of the country to be like this, you know, like basically, what are your wildest dreams? That's all. And so yeah, y'all can feel free to grab from any of those prompts as well. Like, what are you hoping for your children? What are you hoping for yourself? What are you hoping for your parents, your family? What are you hoping for the world at large, your community? What are you hoping for your partner, your significant other, you know? And so, yeah, I just want to hear it. And I wanted to ask this question too because of the reality of, like, to me it speaks to what does it look like to unlock our minds and unleash the realm of possibilities. You know, what does it look like for us to be imaginative? You know, I dream of a world where I don't have these negative thoughts constantly in my head. You know, like literally the paths that you can go with this question, endless. They're endless. And so yeah, that essentially, I'm done with teaching the text. I'm done. Essentially the point of this video is just, yeah, in your wildest dreams, what do you see in your wildest dreams? And I don't even got to be your wildest dreams for real, because that might be personal. I don't know. I mean, all of it will be personal, but that might be, you don't want to share that with everybody. So, yeah, like in your dreams more generally, what's there? Take me through a walk in your dreams, you know? And again, you can feel free to submit that, text me if you have my number. DM me, reply as a comment in these videos. It can be words, it can be art, it can literally just be a simple sentence. It doesn't have to be anything too extravagant or too grand. I just want y'all to participate with me because I truly do value y'all's voices, and I want to make art with y'all, you know? I just think that's meaningful, and I think it speaks to freedom and unity. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can submit these things by Saturday, June 17th, I'm gonna release the actual poem on Tuesday, June 20th. And so yeah, I look forward to hearing from y'all for real. Y'all can follow me on socials. I'm on Facebook now. It's a new development for real. So I'm on Facebook now at Kasted Qrowns, or it's just Kasted Qrowns, and I'm on Instagram at Kasted Qrowns or at Kasted.Qrowns on Instagram. And then y'all can subscribe to this YouTube channel if you'd like, if you so choose. But thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching for real. I appreciate it. So yeah, I love y'all. Bye.